Simply because it is a secret. It will enable her to return to Greenwich different. Claudia looked at Jamie and nodded. Something I had just said made sense. I continued. Returning with a secret is what she really wants. Angel had a secret, and that made her exciting, important. Claudia doesn't want adventure. She likes baths and feeling comfortable too much for that kind of thing. Secrets are the kind of adventure she needs. Secrets are safe, and they do much to make you different. On the inside, where it counts, I won't actually be getting a secret from you. I'll be getting details. I'm a collector of all kinds of things besides art, I said, pointing to my files. If all those files are secrets, and if secrets make you different on the inside, then your insides, Mrs. Frankenmuller, must be the most mixed up, the most different insides I've ever seen, or any doctor has ever seen, either. I grinned. There's a lifetime of secrets in those files, and there's also just a lot of newspaper clippings. Junk. It's hodgepodge. Like my art collection. Now, you'll tell me all about your runaway, and I'll add that to my files. Whereas Jamie's excitement bubbled up out of him in grins and spurts of jittering around the room, Claudia's excitement flowed, but not bubbled. I could see that she was a little surprised. She had known that Angel would have that answer, but she had expected it to be a loud bang, not a quiet soaking in. Of course, secrets make a difference. That was why the planning the runaway had been so much fun. It was a secret, and hiding the museum had been a secret. But they weren't permanent. They had to come to an end. Angel wouldn't. She would carry the secret of Angel inside her for 20 years, just as I had. Now she wouldn't have to be a heroine when she returned home, except to herself. And now she knew something about secrets, and she hadn't known before. I could tell that she felt happy. Happiness is excitement that has found a settling place. And that is always a little corner that keeps flapping around. Claudia could have kept her doubts to herself, but she was an honest child, an honorable child. Mrs. Frankenmuller, she said, swallowing hard, I really love that sketch. I really do. I love it. Just love it, love it. But don't you think you ought to give it to the museum? They're just dying to find out whether the statue is real or not. Nonsense! What a conscience you suddenly have. I wanted to give it to you. In exchange, if you and Jamie want to give it to the museum after you inherit it, then you can give it to the museum. I won't let the museum people near it. If I could keep them out of Connecticut altogether, I would. I don't want them to have it while I'm alive. Claudia wiped her forehead with the sleeve of her sweater and asked, Why not? I've thought about it for a long time, and I've decided, why not? What they'll do is start investing the authenticity of the sketch. They'll call in authorities from all over the world. They'll analyze the ink and the paper. They'll research all of his illustrated notes and compare and compare and compare. In short, they'll make a science of it. Some will say yes, some will say no. Scholars will debate about it. They'll poll all the authorities, and probably the majority will agree that the note and the statue are really the work of Michelangelo. At least that's what they should conclude. But some stubborn ones won't agree, and thereafter the statue and the sketch will appear in books with a big question mark. The experts don't believe in coincidence as much as I do, and I don't want them to throw doubt on something that I have felt always, and actually known for about 20 years. Claudia's eyes widened. But Mrs. Frankenmuller, there's the slightest doubt that either the statue or the sketch is a forgery. Don't you want to know? Don't you want that little last bit of doubt cleared up? No, I answered abruptly. Why not? Because I'm 82 years old, that's why. There now, Jamie, you see, I slipped too. Now I've told you how old I am. Jamie looked at his sister and asked, What's that got to do with anything, Claude? Claudia shrugged. I'll tell you what it's got to do with, I said. I'm satisfied with my own research on the subject. I'm not in the mood to learn anything new. Claudia said, But Mrs. Frankenmuller, you should want to learn one new thing every day. Read it even at the museum. No, I answered. I don't agree with that. I think you should learn, of course, and some days you must learn a great deal. But you should also have days when you allow what is already in you to swell up inside of you until it touches everything, and you can feel it inside you. If you never take a time out to let that happen, then you can just accumulate facts, and they begin to rattle around inside you. You can make noise with them, but you never really feel anything with them. It's hollow. Both children were quiet, and I continued. I've gathered a lot of facts about Michelangelo and Angel, and I've let them grow inside me for a long time. But now I feel that I know. That's enough for that. That's enough for that. But there is one new thing that I'd like to experience. Experience. And that one thing is impossible. Nothing is impossible, Claudia said. She sounded to me exactly like a bad actress in a bad play unreal. Claudia, I said impatiently, I said patiently. When one is 82 years old, one doesn't have to learn one new thing every day, and one knows that some things are impossible. What would you like to experience that is impossible? Jamie asked. Right now, I'd like to know how your mother feels. You keep saying that she's frantic. Why do you want to feel frantic? This came from Claudia. She sounded like the real Claudia Kincaid. It's an experience I would like to have because it's a part of a bigger experience I want. Claudia said, You mean you'd like to be a mother? Jamie leaned toward Claudia and whispered the loudest, wettest whisper I've ever heard. Of course that's impossible. Her husband is dead. You can't be a mother without a husband. Claudia poked Jamie. Never call people dead. It makes others feel bad. Say deceased or passed away. Come now, children, put away the file. You must tell me all about your adventure. All about it. What you thought and what you said and how you managed to carry off the whole crazy cabaret. End of chapter 9. I made a mistake. Tomorrow is the actual last chapter. There, chapter 10. Chapter 10 is our very last chapter of this book. We now know that Angel was made by Michelangelo, and we know that Jamie and Claudia have to make their return home. So what is going to happen on their return home?